Hi YouTube, my name's Sean Connors, this is Outsiders and welcome back to another campaign builder program. I'm going to talk about some next steps, more design tips on where I am at the moment. Now you may recall from the previous campaign builder I've been working on the town of Marlin. Well, I'm now very happy with the overall map of Marlin. I've built it into 4 quarters. I'll quickly recap those. This is one of the quarters of the town. This is the northeast side of the town. I've done a quarter map of this scale for each of those quarters. My plan with these is to keep them looking very technical, because I felt that this would be the sort of information that would be shared with the players, given the fact that this is very much a military campaign. They'd be given that level of detail. Now the maps won't go into exact topography in terms of the buildings and their structure, but at least it gives a fantastic overview of it, and I know how my players will likely handle this. My group will do a reconnaissance mission first off, I'm certain, where they will attempt to scout out by observation what the town looks like in each of the areas, and they will then choose and pick their spot of where they're going to try it, because they've got to clear the town. They're going to take their pick of what they see as the first entry point. So that will give me some clues, although this is very large and they could go anywhere really to start with. That gives me some clues because of the way they'll play as to the most likeliest starting positions. So obviously over the next few days, which I've already begun doing, I've got quite a few locations, and I've obviously been building the town of Marlin's history. So Marlin's history obviously wants to be very deep. It wants to have had previous ruins in the area, that some of them have been explored, some of them haven't. The town would have actually actively promoted allowing things to reoccupy ruins or cave systems, because to be honest it brought adventurers in, and that in its own right is an economy. So a town may take, I thought, to be honest, advantage of that. So it was lovely because it allows me to have some things that were never explored, some things that were explored, and who knows what's moved in. We know that the dragon creatures, the dragon spawn, attacked Marlin heavy, for whatever reason left fairly quickly, dispersed back into the woods and left, but did leave behind a small pocket of resistance of their own kind, plus whatever else is there. And the key for the characters is their remit is to clear, building by building, clear the town. Now there must be a reason why the dragon spawn came to Marlin in the first place. There must be something more than just hit this town the heaviest. They hit this the heaviest of all the towns at this point. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if the reason that they came and the reason that they attacked this town heavy, but obviously they knew there was limited, because you imagine once you've launched an attack of that scale, once you've attacked it, once you've destroyed the enemy, and you buy yourself a small amount of time before the enemy regroup and then come back in large numbers. So they realised they only had a few days. They utilised those few days and realised they could not find what they were looking for, so dispersed and left behind a pocket of people, hoping that the opportunity would come again, that they could probably research the town or something along those lines. So if you're following me, my plan is I'd like to put an orb of the dragon kind in there. I know I've never done this before, and I thought it would be ideal for this. It makes so much sense that that's what they'd be looking for. And again, this is one of those moments you have as a referee. You know, I've got a plan. I have a beginning, a middle and end. I know the end. I know the beginning, obviously. I don't quite know how the players will get to the end, because I like to build the story arcs. So you can see here, for example, that is my current story arc that we've explored so far, and it ends with Marlin, where we are at the moment. Now I'm going to add quite a lot of detail on this, because obviously I'm now going to look at Marlin as a whole, and this will then spread over into probably 2 or 3 pages while I look at all the options the players could do in Marlin. So that's the ultimate plan I have in Marlin. I'm probably going to make it, if I'm being honest, a white dragon orb, and with the new Pathfinder rules, surprisingly, although it's an artifact and you think, oh my god, what are you going to do here? It's actually surprisingly controllable, particularly when you read in detail the rules around the orbs. It makes a lot of sense, and it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be an exciting item. And the big question would be, who would carry the damn thing? So I love that, and obviously that should be the epical bit of Marlin, I think. But we'll leave that as a little surprise for them. So I'm now building the parts around Marlin, where the dragon spawn are, the various ruins that exist, what actually lies within them. And that's where I'm at the moment. Now, I also wanted to point out in this particular program a couple of detail changes that I've put in my game that we didn't speak about in the previous programs. So I just want to cover these off very quickly, because I think this is worth sharing, because this is where somebody else's mindset's gone. And do remember that these small changes, I've put them in not because I know better than the rule designers, far from it, Not because I think I know best, because often house rules, one of the biggest problems is you don't know what you're tampering with. And we're going to cover that off actually in a DM's tips program at a later stage. But anyway, bear with me at the moment. So one of the things I've done is I've amalgamated a few changes around Wizard spellbooks. And the reason for this is that within the Pathfinder rules and the 3.5 rules, for me, they don't go far enough. And I don't think it really incorporates what I was looking for in this game, particularly when you think about the crafting rules I put in. So this is how it will work. Spellbook information. Time. The process takes 1 hour per spell level. Cantrips automatically take 1 hour. Times the number of pages. So, for example, how many pages are in a spellbook? Well, there's 100, traditionally. Each spell requires a number of pages equal to its level plus 0 to 5, i.e. 1d6 minus 1. So, for example, a first level spell, if you rolled the maximum, which is a 6, basically becomes, it will take up 6 minus 1 is 5, plus 1 for the level is 6. So it takes up 6 pages, and each page costs a certain amount to subscribe into the book. In this case, 10 gold pieces per page. And I've worked out on a little chart at the bottom of my list down here, page costs. So for example, 0 level spells are 5 gold pieces per page, first level of 10, second level of 40, third level of 90, fourth level 160, fifth level 250, etc. I like this system. It's an amalgamation really of the old second edition system, a little bit of thought process from third, and obviously Pathfinder, and clearly shows that spellbooks will be eaten up quite quick. In the new Pathfinder rules, buying a new spellbook isn't particularly difficult, and the process of actually making them isn't particularly time consuming, but I like the idea of the wizard having to really work at it. Obviously any spells that the wizard gets, which is 2 per level free, they don't cost any money to transcribe in the book, but they do cost up a certain amount of pages. So that's something I wanted to share with you. Also, the craft points per level system is working very well so far, has gone down very well, and we're finding that the piety points is also working. And I set some target numbers for piety points, and I'm going to quickly wheel those off because a couple of people have asked. So for prayer stroke meditation, the target number is 35 for prayer, 40 for meditation to gain 1 piety point. That's a heck of a target number if you think about it, but you don't want your players getting piety points straight away. Fasting or prayer, 25, so possible, and you get 2 piety points. Confession or taking penance, target number 25, and you get 2 piety points. Daily mass, target number 30, so it should be extremely difficult to get straight away. High mass, which is a key mass, is 25, 2 piety points. Feast mass, the one time of the year you have a festival, 5 piety points, 20 target numbers should be doable. Service, a service is something specific, which again, where you take, you're actually conducting a daily service at the church, for the church, or they're asking you as a church to do a service for them. It's not specifically a quest, but something that they ask you to do. That's a target number of 23 piety points. Sacrifice, all depends on what the sacrifice is. We're not talking about killing people here, but that could be possible depending on the religion. Normally it's items or money. A piety will be 1, 2 or 3, target number 20, 25 or 30. Quest, target number 20, 25 or 30, piety points 1, 2 or 3 again. So I just wanted to share that. Sorry if it sounds like paint drying, but somebody asked, I want to get that out there. So that's where we are with the campaign builder, coming along really well. Hopefully in the next couple of campaign builders over the next week, you'll actually see some of those areas. I'll show you some of the maps, some of the stuff I've been working on, and also start fleshing out what those little bits will look like. As you can see, Marlin's shaping up really nicely. The idea behind Marlin's looking good. Anyway, this has been Campaign Builder. I'm Sean Connors. Until next time, take care and happy gaming.